Welcome to Vibes of India. I'm Dhanvi and this is one of my favorite segments. Here we are going to talk about art through the book The Fine Art of Fine Arts. This book talks about the journey of a very senior artist Shyam Sharma, and this book is a labor of love of Chaitya Dhanvi Shah. Like, he has written the book and he's designed the cover page, and today we are going to talk with him about this book and the process, all that went through to come up with this book. So welcome Chaitya to Vibes of India.
Thank you.
So Chaitya, I mean, to start with, tell us about the inception and the journey of, how this book came up.
So it was very, in a very simple manner, the whole journey started. Actually in 2012, we published a book of Mr. Ravindra Salve, a very senior artist. And, by chance, he showed this book to Shyam Sharma ji. And he was very excited, to know that this kind of publication and whole process is taking place in India. So he wrote me a letter that, why don't you publish a book for me, and, So it was like in 2012. Somehow we both lost the touch. And in 2016, we had an art camp in Ranutsav. And that's where, first time we actually met and we understood each other. After about a month, he came back and he was like, I want to come at your place and stay with you guys. Like, okay, I mean, for 4-5 days, he came from Bihar, and again the process was very organic, very simple. So it was just like
Talking and then developing
so it was
this.
like to be so one. So this one of our reader was like he got this book and he was like ऐसा लग रहा है कि grandfather मुझे story कह रहा है.
Yeah.
And it was actually like that
format.
So we would we would start the day by sitting on the dining table, having breakfast, talking various subjects. I mean, somewhere we are talking about art, and then again the next moment we are history, again the next one folk art, some history, various topics. Then again we would take a short break for lunch,
And then
again start. So I mean, we didn't knew that we are sitting on the dining table or living room or bedroom or like that.
It was more about conversations
It
and
was
then book
completely,
development.
we both were lost. I mean, so I was out of curiosity, and he was like again very very gentleman, like like an attitude like हाँ पूछो जो पूछना है, and he would simply go on and on at this age. So four days. Continuously conversation, and we didn't knew that actually we are going to create a book like this, or we want to create a book, or we want to publish something. It was just as a curator, as an artist, most importantly as a seeker, and he as a giver.
Okay.
That's it.
Wow.
It was like, now I can term it as a curator and as an artist, but at
earlier
that
it
point
was
of
a
time,
different
it was,
equation.
Yeah, so it was like a sir or a guru talking to his the disciples, or like, okay, sir, please मुझे knowledge दो. कि अच्छा सर ऐसा था, अच्छा ऐसा था, तो ऐसा क्यों नहीं, ऐसा क्यों नहीं. So again, in some parts, I'm having not a conversation but a kind of a counter argument. कि सर ऐसा क्यों, ऐसा नहीं ऐसा तो होता है तो. But again, he like a true guru, he clarified entire things so smoothly and delicately that I never found that this is something about art education, or we are teaching someone, or he's teaching me. Nothing
There were no
like
restrictions, there were no boundaries. True.
Nothing like that. It was like smooth, simple, and so I believe that in art, I mean, whatever art, I mean, you create, it has a kind of simplicity, or the innocence. It has to reach to millions of arts. Not necessarily now, but like any given point of time, once it clicks at the right place, right time, right kind of environment, I mean, I'm very sure that it clicks. And this is again that sort of comes in that zone where it was not designed or to be like a book or something like that.
But it eventually happened.
Yeah. So then after so I recorded the entire conversation. I used to write some points, and I didn't had any book in a way कि अच्छा इसके बाद ये question आएगा, इसके बाद ये आएगा. So it was just normal
Organic,
thing.
true.
So when after he went, and after a week or 10 days, I was like, no, I have to write it down. Otherwise, like, what if the recording goes off or the
something
file
happens.
corrupts and something like that. So I started writing it down. While writing, I realized that okay, this
book
is
in
something else.
process.
Yeah, so this is something else, and this even I can read it after 100 years, 50 years, 20 years,
Okay.
and I will still get something new. I'll still
Okay.
get that energy of something to sort of create something in any field which
Yeah.
I'm. So
That's how the
that encouraged me. कि, okay, let's go further and let's dig down how the things will take shape. And then I realized that okay, this is a diary. So let it be in a diary form that as a curator, and even people they are less aware of how a curator works, how an artist this thought process works. So then how would a artist, I mean everyone knows that how a director and actor has that process before the shoot, after the shoot, and whatever on the sets, but they don't know how an artist and a curator works. And I thought that why not we have a diary of a curator, because that's what my blog and podcast is all about. So I thought that in a book form, let us create a diary, and in that, as a layman, I'm asking these questions to the in certain portions. Certain portions I'm on behalf of my clients or collectors. I'm asking him on behalf of some new or emerging artist. I'm asking him some questions, and as a curator,
you're asking. True.
on a whole, how does the thing works? So I think that's how it.
Yeah. But Chaitya, for all the laymen, for all of you, if you have to describe artist Shyam Sharma in say 3 elements, how would you describe him? Like, what are the necessary things that viewers should know about his life or about his work or about him?
So I think the first thing which comes to my mind right away is like his simplicity.
Okay.
Like his attitude towards life. The second thing is spirituality.
Okay.
And the third thing is his knowledge, his vast experience, like almost 60, 70 years of experience, and teaching, working as an artist, working as a printmaker, as a painter, as a theatre artist.
Okay.
So they have a theatre group in Bihar, in Patna. So, and having so many administrative roles, like he was the chairman of National Gallery of Modern Art, he was the selector of the National Advisory Committee, like the museums purchase the paintings. So these three things are actually, and the interesting part is they're actually showing in his paintings.
Okay.
That simplicity, that that element of humor, that thought process, the spiritual element in his works. So again, the way he speaks, so you don't see artists speaking so softly, delicately, and then trying to make you understand. So all these things, I think they translate into his works too. So that I guess that is the beauty of an artist. Like even M.F. Hussain used to have that kind of aura, that he would speak, and then so you were lost into his art.
Okay.
So he has that kind of charm.
Happened with you.
Yeah. So again, it is very important, so these are the factors which as a curator attracts me, that not only his skills, in India, again, we have mentioned in the book that in India we don't discuss much about the artist thought process. It is always about the colors, the acha ye line achhi ki hai, skills achhi hai, and everything. But see, we are in New India, and again, if we go back to the Vedic period, and so there was always the thought process which was important. The abstract forms were important, like what we want to say was important, rather than that how beautiful it is or how aesthetically. Again, that was there, but not as a prime factor. Now everything is more of it is looking nice and it is looking good. But then skill-based artists, I think that we have painters like board painters and other set of computers and softwares. They can do that. But what about the thought process? How will you bring that thought process? It takes years of hard work, years of observation. So yes, we have mentioned in this book that aesthetics can't be taught. You have to completely observe, experience. You have to keep your eyes, everything, ears open to understand that this green is very beautiful. So how will I use it in my painting or any form of art? So that is very important, and he's actually the master, I would say.
Maybe
Yeah.
aesthetics too. And artists are considered generally perceived to be very crazy lot of people. What was your experience of working with him? Can you recall of any incident where you did something which was not expected, something funny, bizarre, something you will remember for a very long time?
I think his whole approach towards me, that whole warmth,
Okay.
and as a giver. So
Okay.
I would always remember him, the way he treated the entire conversation.
Okay.
That अच्छा see ऐसा नहीं है कि I am this big artist, so I have to sit. Oh, मेरे लिए ऐसा ऐसा होना चाहिए, ऐसा खाना होना चाहिए.
He was very
ये होना
humble.
चाहिए. It was like again I would say that as a grandfather, so he was like a dada.
Yeah.
Talking to me.
Yeah.
And we were just enjoying the whole process.
True.
So I don't as an artist, all these guys, I mean, especially Shyam Sharma ji, he's a very spiritual person. So he understands basics. So I don't think that he needs that kind of publicity or kind of that PR. See, I'm mad. I'm an artist. So I need my alcohol. I need my cigar to, only then I can paint and only then. So I think he was completely opposite to what the artist
general perception is.
Yeah. And so again, one thing which I got to learn from him is that again, be simple, be humble. Like even Ratan Parimu, one of again a very legendary artist. Again, he's very simple, very sober, but these guys have immense amount of knowledge, and they never show you out again through their works or through their behavior. So I think that attracts me more rather than this is.
And when you're saying about like they know a lot, even in this book you've covered a broad spectrum from spirituality to fine arts to challenges to everything. Like, would you like to maybe read out or share any anecdotes with our readers?
Yeah, sure. So there's one interesting thing that how so what is Indian art? And so basically it is inspired by the Anekatvad concept of everyone is right.
Yeah.
And so from their own perspective, their own upbringing, their own culture, it is my point of view how I see the art. So no one is wrong, no one is right.
Yeah.
So again, I remember one interesting episode from the Mahabharata.
Okay.
Sorry, Ramayana. That I'll like to read that thing.
Also, your tea is ready.
Yeah. Tame nahi lo?
No, I'm good. I think it was page number 18.
80. Yeah. So, what is the beauty of Indian art? So, I'm asking him that, what is the beauty of Indian art? And he's like, he goes off that the monkey community had fought and sacrificed themselves in order to save Sita ji and gave their immense support to Lord Ram. After the war, a group of monkeys came together, curious to know that what she looked like.
Yeah.
She would have been very pretty for Ravan to start a war for her. But then there was a problem. There was only one Sitaji and lakhs of monkeys in line to see her.
Yeah.
So again, he was very, so in his works also you will find a lot of humor.
Okay.
And so while he was speaking, while our conversation, he used to crack such little jokes and humor things. So a wise, so wise monkey suggested sending a female monkey who is experienced enough, who would go and see Sitaji for them. It was decided that she would come back and describe everything about her beauty to all the monkeys.
Yeah.
The female monkey went there and saw Sitaji sitting under the tree. She went in circles around Sitaji, and after she was satisfied and done looking at her, she came back. The entire monkey community was waiting for her description of Sitaji. They started asking questions about Sitaji's beauty. The female monkey answered that, yes, she is beautiful for sure. However, what kind of beauty is it if she does not have a tail?
Wow.
So
a different perspective.
Yeah, so in the monkey community, the tail determines the scale of beauty. If she does not have a tail, she is not considered beautiful. This means that different societies have a different meaning to art and aesthetics.
Okay.
Each one is entitled to their own opinion and perspective depending on their society's belief.
True.
So, this is how you read art. Like again, the technical terms are there, that there should be forms, composition, colors, textures. So these are all, technical terms. But again, as a broader scale, this is how you enjoy art.
True.
So there's several such humor incidents, but again, it has meaning.
Yeah.
So the entire conversation, somewhere down the line, either teaches you, either makes you a better person in your life, or either makes your perspective change towards art develop, or maybe enhance in a very different manner. That
Yeah,
can,
true.
I think, that will add every. I mean, that will add value to in every reader's life.
And here, like as an artist, he's a Padma Shri awardee, if I'm not wrong. And at this age, at this stage, when he has nothing else to prove, like he's already done so much. Like in this book, or even in person, when you were in conversation with him, did he talk about any of his regrets or mistakes or challenges, or something that made him what he is today?
Yeah, so one thing, he had a kind of not exactly kind of regret, but like he was like the amount of work which I have done.
Yeah.
In that sense, the money part is
Still.
I think. But then again, he was like, see, at this age or at this state of life, I'm not actually interested. But because I asked him that question, again, like you, that what are, the things which he looks back and feel, So he was like, but again, I'm very happy with this, that I believe in karma. And once, you... the idea is to give better works, produce better works, and this is, I'm not doing for someone else. I'm doing it for myself, and if I'm enjoying it, well, then it's completely fine. I mean, God has been kind to me, and He has taken care of my family, and so every time, he mentions in the book, every time I am in need of some money, somewhere the universe would send me the money. And my work is done.
I think this is the issue for not just him, but for several artists who would want to pursue their dreams but do not have finances.
Exactly. And see, I'm very so whoever, I mean, the emerging artist that comes to us and that I want to be an artist, how do I pursue this career? So I'm like, see, only if you are true to your art, true to your
you genuinely love this, then only get here.
Otherwise, there is no place in fine arts that okay, एक दो साल में हम पैसा कमा लेंगे. And,
doesn't happen that way.
I mean, it takes almost 50-60 years. And so I've asked him that what drove you actually?
Yeah, how did he survive this whole thing?
Working in a city like Patna or Bihar in those times, in 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, where it was like as 90s in 90s we used to persevere as a Gunda Raj state, or okay, वहाँ पे ऐसा होता है. So he was like, no, that actually encouraged me to create a different set of works. Okay. So it is not again. So we have another question like that. How come a city like Patna or a state like Bihar, it has produced Mahavir Swami, or it has all great religious. It all started or it all ended over there. Highly knowledgeable state and history and stuff. So how does things take place and how all this happened? And so it's like everything has time, and I don't.
It all falls in place.
Yeah, so I don't think that that affects you in a way. Yeah, it affects. But then you have to be that intelligent that how you take that thing in your art, in your works, and don't let those things affect you.
True.
So I think that regret. I'm pretty sure that because he is still true to his art. I think doesn't. I didn't saw that
that pain or like that angst.
यार इतनी मेहनत की है और फिर भी कुछ नहीं हुआ. He was like actually was enjoying the process. The process. He was actually enjoying. See, even he still paints and he keeps. He sends me WhatsApp. See,
this is what he created. True.
So even at this age, he actually. I mean, we have in this book he painted on a shirt. Okay. So I'm experimenting. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. I'm doing this subject. I'm working on. So he's working on the mitti blocks, the clay blocks, and so I like those cracks. So he's so sensitive. He has written a poem on blocks.
Wow. I wonder how.
Say this is the mother. Yeah. So I've asked him in this book that who is the child? The print? Yeah. So who comes first, the child or the mother?
Interesting. Yeah.
So that is the kind of conversation we had. So again, I feel that even only a satisfied person can actually
And cannot be
answer
taken as the
this.
regrets, Jin.
Only he can answer those questions.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it is completely commercial.
Yeah,
I mean,
but this question was about him. Navi, coming back to you, like how did this whole process? Because as you told me that it took you 3 months to write the book, and for I think around 8 months you are sitting with this content, working on this content. So how did it affect you? Did it change you as a person, or
absolutely.
like,
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
how?
So again, it changed my perspective towards art.
Okay,
So.
you have been so long with art.
Yeah. So, but again, so that is why I was so confident and I was so energetic and okay, as soon as possible I need to publish this book and
Okay.
how
Yeah.
fast. But because of the complexity of design and the content, it took us time, a little bit more time
Yeah.
than expected. But I think since last 3 to 4 months, I've read this book like almost 4 to 5 times.
Okay.
Yeah. Working at night like around
Yeah.
in the morning, afternoon after lunch, or while eating, I used to read. Okay, kaun sa image, where
Kahan
should I
lena
place
hai?
this, or how can
Yeah.
we do? And I would discuss with Nishi and stuff. Not a single time I got bored.
Okay. That's
So I got. I mean, it was a kind of a shocker thing that okay, I'm reading again and again, but I'm not getting bored.
yeah.
So I was confident that okay, the reader will not get bored. The first thing. Then every time I used to read and so I was like, Acha, did this thing happen? Yeah, okay, yeah, this is also how I can see art.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I can see this painting accordingly, but yeah, this is the points I'm missing now. Okay, so that actually gave me confidence about this book, about the content, that this is not talking only about his art or how great his art is or how great as
This
an
is lot
artist
more.
is. It is beyond art, and it can touch to a collector, a student, a museum, a critic, or
Yeah.
whatever, a film director, a
So
producer.
it will appeal to
It appeal
everyone.
to even a IT guy,
Yeah. Okay.
engineer. So whosoever reads it,
Will have something.
it will immediately connect, and that is the beauty of this book. And I found interesting that this has completely changed. So there are certain incidents where I would read this one page or 2 pages, and somehow on the next day I could relate with what I read.
Okay.
Acha, he's right. So at that point of time, I was like a layman.
Yeah.
I never thought that I have written this book. I have asked him questions, or I was just reading as a layman.
Yeah. But it changed something
And
in
yeah,
you.
so it changed. So I was like, Acha, even if I can still have lots to learn from this book,
Then definitely other people.
absolutely.
But if you want to just in a very crisp manner, if you want to just give 3 takeaways from the book, anyone is reading it, like what would be the biggest 3 takeaways? Like would it be something that you would learn on spirituality? Would you people like
I think Indian culture.
okay,
I mean,
Indian culture is
that is the most important thing.
Okay.
One of the main reason or main tick marks why I should publish this book.
okay.
The second thing is how to read art,
Okay.
how to enjoy art.
Enjoy art.
Yeah. And the third thing would be to understand the thought process. I mean,
Okay.
again, as I mentioned, that everyone, how they should develop their thought process.
True.
Be it in any field.
Yeah.
But that is very important for a country like us, young generation, the next decade or so. So for us, it is very important to be creative.
Yeah.
To learn different things and to create that own our own perception. It is
About
very
them.
important rather than borrowed it from
Someone else, something else. Yeah.
And like most importantly, the film industry,
Yeah.
the music
everything
industry, our own fine art industry, where copy paste, because it's all commercial.
Yeah.
And so I need to give. This
Yeah.
is
The book also
deadline.
addresses that point, right? Of
Yeah.
copy paste and
Yes.
Yeah.
So because so that is and the fourth thing. Sorry, you asked me 3,
Yeah,
but the
3,
fourth thing is
okay.
the innocence.
Okay.
The innocence of the artist, the innocence of the artworks, the simplicity of this book, the conversation, everything happened. So it is so organic, innocent. There is nothing commercial in it. Like,
Okay.
oh, I have to sell this, or the artist has to sell this, or I have to promote him as
No
a
such
curator.
thing.
Nothing like that. So that makes it even more interesting, that it is like, so it will connect to people. And now what we are missing is in the entire Indian creative industry, whatever it is, like we are so much commercialized that we have deadlines, we have production, so we have people who are not into art any art form,
Yeah.
they are governing that
Yeah.
whole entire thing, and that is why we are seeing degraded artworks, music. This artist or the book, I'm very sure that it will
Appeal to people
it will
of-
help.
Yeah.
It will kind of rewind that innocence. कि अच्छा, हाँ, 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 we lost the path.
Yeah.
So we have to, once I'm reading this, I'll get to know that okay, this is not the path, this is the actual path, and this
True.
is how art works actually.
Great. So thank you so much, Chaitya, for sharing your journey, your
Thank
story
you.
with us through this book. And for more such conversations, keep watching Vibes of India. Thank you.